Hi, and welcome to another episode of Prep Academy podcast. This is your host, Melinda George. We're joined by two incredibly talented students, Mariya George and Rosemary. If you're someone who's curious about getting into top colleges like St. Stephen's or St. Xavier's, or want to crack a competitive exam like CUET or CLAT or SLAT, this episode is for you. Hi, Rosemary and Mariya. Lovely to have you on board.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
So, Mariya and Rosemary, you both wrote multiple entrance exams as XET, SLAT, CLAT, and got into some great colleges like St. Stephen's and St. Xavier's. But you took a step back, right?
Yes.
Especially Rosemary. So, take us through what went through your mind when you took a step back.
So for me, I was pretty prepared after I talked to a few people who all suggested NLU is the best option out there. But I think the real problem was convincing my family to be okay with this. So I remember getting a call where they were all like, why are you wasting a year? How about you stay back at Xavier's? And then I was like, why waste 2 years? Because the only reason I didn't crack it the last time was only because I didn't study well. So this time I was hoping to focus more and study. So ultimately my dream college is in an NLU, maybe NLSIU. So I thought I was prepared for it. And I was like, I'm going to go ahead, push myself and crack the exam.
What are like some of the top law colleges in India?
I think NLU, obviously, all
Yeah.
NLUs have their own standard and all. And NLSIU is the best. Then Nalsar.
Bangalore one.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
Bangalore one. And then Nalsar and Hyderabad, then Jodhpur and all. They're all great colleges.
But they have different exams, right?
No, all of them come under CLAT.
CLAT, but what about SLAT and
SLAT is only for symbiosis.
Symbiosis.
Yeah. So for that, symbiosis is the fifth best in India right now. So I was hoping, that's my second option. So either NLU or symbiosis Pune. So that's how it is. And I already got into BITS also last year.
does that have a different exam?
Yes, so BITS has their own exam for law. Since it's a new college, they have it online. You sit in front of the laptop at home and you write the exam. And it's pretty easy. It's kind of like SLAT, it's similar. And I got through the exam pretty easily. And the interview was very different. So they expect you to have an introduction, that's it. They don't ask further questions on that. Then you have 2 sessions after that following. There's a speech and then there's a reading comprehension.
Okay.
So for speech, they give you one word on which you have to speak for about 5 to 10 minutes, and you can speak as long as you want on one
Okay.
word. So it's
Do you
on
have a
the spot.
preparation time?
You get 5 minutes.
5 minutes to prepare.
5 minutes to
All right.
prepare. And for reading comprehension,
So how did you prepare for that?
my word I think was environment.
Okay.
So I was preparing for my board exams at the time.
Okay.
So I learned a lot in psychology about how the environment shapes a child and how each environment shapes us. So I just spoke on that.
Okay.
I just made up an answer.
So how did you write your points?
Just
Did you write sentences or just
no,
wrote key
just
points?
the words on
Just
from
the
where,
words,
just
yeah.
the words from where
Okay.
I'm gonna like get my answer.
You can refer to it and speak
yeah,
on it,
you
right?
can refer to
Okay.
it, but they expect you to be very continuous and speak as long as you can. So
Okay.
then, but for any interview, when you're doing for a course, by the end of it, you have to direct it towards the course and what you're studying.
Okay.
So I did in the end direct it towards law and be like, this is why
So you spoke about environment law
not
or
environment
something
law,
along those lines?
about how environment law, yes.
Yeah, okay.
And about how the legal environment you're put in shapes you as a person.
Okay.
And how each environment you go to, you learn something new which you can put into the legal world. So you have to always shape your answers in that way. And they also told me, the interviewer was very friendly. She made
Okay.
sure I calmed down and everything. So I think for BITS, it's very different. And the reading comprehension also, I think for my luck, it came about sociology. It was one of my subjects again. So they ask you questions. And I think one of the questions was, I think I aced, was about how in the future, when they're looking at our current generation, how it would be. So I was like, AI, computers. So that's what they want to see in us, basically. How
So humanities stream students find these question papers easier?
Depends. See, I was
Depends.
lucky to get
Okay.
my papers like that. But each field you come from, like for the words and all, you just shape your answer based on what you learn. For everything, even if it's business, like commerce field, you definitely learn about how management environment develops you. So that's all you have to speak about
Okay.
when it comes to these interviews.
So the structure of the papers differs for each of these exams.
Each interview they give a different paper is what I heard, because one of my friends also applied here.
Okay.
So that's the thing. But BITS is a new law school. It's not established yet. I would be the third batch.
Okay.
Which is why I am not joining the place.
All right. So, Mariya, you also had amazing options. I am Kozhikode for BMS and St. Stephen's for economics honors.
Yes.
How did you narrow down your decisions?
Actually, in 10th grade, I was studying and I actually picked commerce simply because I wanted to do econ at St. Stephen's, specifically that.
Okay.
We did get a lot of criticism for not choosing the typical science route, but me and my family, they were all very supportive. So we chose commerce because of St. Stephen's and economics, because I liked the subject.
Okay.
And IIMK, I got to know after I joined Prep Academy for my CUT preparations. By the end of my, I stayed there for 1 month, and by the end of that only I got to know about the BMS program.
So you just gave a chance.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
We prepared already quantitative aptitude and verbal ability. This is just the same pattern for the aptitude test.
Okay.
We did have an interview after that. And we, Alan sir and the Prep Academy really helped me with the interview preparation also. But my decision was always clear.
Economics at St. Stephen's.
Yes.
What are you planning to do afterwards?
I set on civil service.
Okay.
I want to complete my degree. It's an honors degree, so it will be 4 years. And after 4 years, I want to attempt civil services. And maybe depending on how I feel about economics after my course, I may pursue further studies, maybe graduate, maybe a JRF PhD program, maybe. It depends on what I feel about it.
So those are your biggest factors that influenced your decision.
Yes.
What about, good opportunities that comes afterwards, after taking economics?
After taking economics, first and foremost, civil service. A lot of students who study economics opt for civil services. Another very important thing is this exam that is conducted by UPSC for the Indian Economic Service,
Yeah.
which is near for students who have completed their graduate, their masters.
Masters,
In economics,
Yeah.
statistics, fields related to economics,
Okay.
which is also a very good opportunity. And a lot of students who take economics also go for NET for teaching.
Teaching.
Yes, college. That is all my plans.
So were you scared of quitting or not, choosing what most people around you were going for?
I was not scared to say, because at the end of the day it's my life.
Yeah.
And nobody else is making my choices for me, and I want what's best for me as well. I'm going out of the world, so I was not scared. What I'm scared of right now is if I don't crack the exam,
Okay.
how the pressure that be put onto me. So that's the fear I have right now about cracking the exam.
So what's your CLAT prep looking like right now?
So I just started because I just got back from Xavier's. I did attend a few lectures there. So
So what are you doing differently this time? That's what I want to ask.
I am
You already prepared for this once,
Yes.
right? Yeah. So
So-
how are you preparing it differently this time?
going to be attending more mocks, doing mocks and analyzing the time and how my answers are, and focusing on quant, which is a mistake I made last time because I completely ignored it.
Okay.
I ignored quantitative aptitude.
Completely.
Completely ignored it the last time, which is the biggest mistake I made. I was advised against it, but I was like, I hate maths. Why would I do it? Because in CLAT, if you have to do quant, you're going to have to cut down somewhere else. Because last year we had 150 questions
Okay.
and 120 minutes. So that's the issue. You can't even take a minute per question. So I think this time I would focus on quant as well, because that's the deciding factor. So maybe do more mocks. Just the advice I got from people. Do a
How
mock.
many mocks per day? One mock per day?
One mock per day. If you
That's
do
30 mocks per month.
Yes. So
That's good, I guess.
I got this advice from a Nalsar graduate
Okay.
that if you do a mock for 2 months straight every day, you'll get through easily.
So what do you find the most challenging part about preparing for CLAT?
I think
Is it the time
management.
pressure? Yeah.
Time management is the biggest factor for
What about legal reasoning?
Legal reasoning is not as difficult as you think it is.
Okay.
Once you get the hang of it, it's actually quite easy to solve. I think you have to be more prepared for current affairs, because
How do you prepare for current affairs? Tell me about that.
Newspapers.
Just newspapers.
Read newspapers, any articles, and
How many newspapers do you read every day? Just Hindu?
uh, Hindu, and then I have like NDTV and other newses on my
Okay,
phone.
okay.
So, when you're preparing every day, you can't continuously read.
Mm-hmm.
So, I have Hindu, mostly Hindu, and then other papers on my phone, other newses and know your basic GK as well. 'Cause,
Okay. So do they teach you basic GK?
Yeah, they
at
have
prep?
current affairs, what
Okay.
comes in each month and
Okay.
all. That's what you learn when you go for coaching. And quantitative, they teach you how to solve problems and all. And reading comprehension. You just have to get everything comes in a comprehension manner for CLAT.
Okay.
You have to read a paragraph for everything. So I think the main issue is time because you have to read that and then answer the questions.
So like if you stay consistent, you'll learn,
yeah.
to manage time properly.
Yes.
What was your approach to cracking BMS program?
Actually, I had already prepared for CUET before I was attempting the BMS aptitude test. So CUET that has a general test, which consists of almost all the things that you cover for BMS aptitude test, which is quantitative aptitude and verbal ability. The verbal ability part was quite easy for me actually. It was fine. In CUET also I did pretty well, verbal ability. But quantitative aptitude was a little bit challenging. BMS aptitude test had a significantly harder questions than CUET.
Which part?
The quantitative
Quant part,
aptitude
yeah.
word. Yeah,
Okay.
quantitative aptitude was very tough. Considering there's a time limit, I don't remember exactly. There's 300 questions and you get 2 hours to solve it, which
Okay.
seems enough. But when
not actually enough.
yeah, it's not actually enough.
So how many minutes do you have per question?
Very genuinely, I didn't think about it like that. My focus, it has a section-wise timing.
Okay.
Meaning only once you finish one section can you move on. 1 hour allocated for one section, and the next hour go on to the other section. So, which is pretty bad because once you solve the verbal ability, for me, I had plenty of time left for after verbal ability. I could have allotted that time to quantitative, but there is no such provision for us. So, which I think was a hard part for quantitative aptitude. And actually, just solve more questions is all for quantitative aptitude. Lots of questions. And one thing is, if you start solving one topic, finish it off.
Okay.
That is one thing I really. I suffered that in the beginning of my preparation because I felt that the mocks, I couldn't solve anything even though I learned all of this because I didn't focus enough on one topic and didn't completely finish over a topic, which I think was a very important aspect to cracking quantitative aptitude.
Okay. What is XAT? You attempted XAT exam, right? Yeah. What is XAT?
So XCT is for Xavier's, and they only have it for a few courses for the UG program. So
Which courses?
I'm not entirely sure.
Yeah, that's fine, okay.
But for BMS, I had to write it. The thing is, XCT seemed difficult, but not difficult at the same time.
Okay.
It had more data interpretation than anything else. So we are allowed to use calculations for exam. So,
Calculator.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Okay.
We were allowed to use a calculator for
Okay.
our exam. So the thing is, the questions because it's data interpretation very different. You don't usually learn it for coaching and all, and it was very unpredicted that we would get such questions. Like majority was data interpretation, and we had a lot of pie charts and all to analyze and then get answers. But that aced me because I love economics and I've done it for economics. So I was good at statistics. So the thing is, when it came to the exam, for some reason, I was able to crack it easily, more than the quant part because I'm very bad at calculations and all. So I think in that way it benefited me. And XCT, other than that, general knowledge and all was very easy. GK, current affairs was actually very easy. English was also manageable as everything you know. So it's not a very difficult exam to crack, but still it has its, difficult points and all.
How did your interviews go in all these colleges?
So for Xavier's, I did not attend my interview because I was unsure if I want to go or not, but I did get my seat.
But is interview a very important part at Xavier's?
I don't think so, because
Okay.
for Xavier's, if you crack the exam and you get selected, you kind of pass. Unless and until you behave very badly at your interview, they're not going to cancel your admission.
Okay.
So mostly, if you crack your Xavier's entrance, you get into the college. An interview is just where they tell you rules and regulations and how you are to be in the like all the conducts and stuff.
All right.
For bits, as I said earlier, interview was a little different, but it's still manageable. And for symbiosis, the interview is actually not that hard, but still, you have like the normal interview sessions. You have your introduction, and then they ask you questions, very little difficult questions, but like who are the famous like I didn't know much about lawyers. Like I know I want to get in the legal field, but I don't know many famous lawyers who I take inspiration from or anything.
Okay.
So
You just liked law.
I
That's it.
liked law after my 10th grade. It was
Okay.
never in my mind before that. I was a very artistic kid. I want to go into fashion designing, interior and all. So law just came suddenly after 10th grade. Everyone was shocked about it. But then it just clicked suddenly. And I liked the field for some reason. So that's why it chose. So I didn't know like much about famous cases or famous lawyers. Like during Symbiosis was my very first interview. So I didn't know much about it. So when they asked me, who do you take inspiration from? I was pretty shocked. And for 2 seconds, I was like, what would I answer? I don't know anybody. So I kind of I didn't make up an answer. My grandfather's a lawyer.
Okay.
So I was like, I take inspiration from him, even though I did not know he was a lawyer until like very recently. So the thing about this is, you have to just talk boldly and be confident.
Yeah.
That's what an
So
interview
if you
really
don't
is.
have an answer, is that all right?
It's
You just have to be very
You
confident.
just
there.
have to be confident.
and just say that you don't have
I
an
am
answer.
unsure.
Okay.
Even like sometimes for an interview, even if you don't have an answer, all you have to say is I am unsure of the answer.
Okay.
But still provide some knowledgeable points regarding it.
All right.
So for this, I was like, I'm unsure. Like I was like, I'm not sure many famous lawyers inspire me right now. But my grandfather was a lawyer many years back, and his work really inspired me. Is what I spoke. And they were pretty happy with the answer.
Okay.
And other things was about how, as a lawyer, I would shape like India in the future, what contribution I would make and all.
And what was the answer?
Oh my god, it was such a long time back. I'm not. I think I was speaking about how I would make changes in the society
Yeah.
when it comes to like poverty and all, because that's the main issue in India
Yeah,
right now.
yeah.
You would mostly like those are the main points you would put in, like general indicators in the society, you know. So I was like, poverty is the main issue, and I think girl child rights is another thing I spoke about, because for me that's a topic I really, because you know how parents in general are like, you have to be safe because you're a girl when you go outside. So that really, I don't know. For me, I think that's a very difficult thing. You know, I find it that why have that differentiation that's so bad that you can't even be safe outside. So for me, that's something I thought I would like in the future, even if I become a lawyer, even though I'm going more in, like I'm more into the corporate field, but still, if I get the chance, girl child rights is something that I would speak upon. You know, I would go for like any debate or anything if I get to participate. That's something I would go for, like any bill in the future, in case I go into the normal like litigation field. So
Do you like litigation?
I like arguing, which is what
Okay.
you do in litigation.
But
But
isn't it very difficult?
it is difficult. Like
Yeah.
to get, like to crack litigation is very difficult. But as
So
of
what kind of lawyer do you want to be?
As
like,
of
you want to
now-
work in a corporate field or?
yeah, as of now, I'm thinking corporate.
Okay.
But the thing is, I was told by, I know a Supreme Court judge. He used to be on the panel before, and I spoke to him, and he was like, when you go into the field of law, keep your mind open.
Okay.
Because you're going to be learning all kinds of law in your first few years. Only by the fourth or fifth year would you even realize about which kind of law you're interested in. So now I'm keeping my mind open, even though I'm more inclined towards the corporate field.
IP maths and BMS entrances need quant, logical, and verbal reasoning. Right. So, what was your strongest section and how did you build it?
I think mine would be verbal reasoning, verbal ability.
Yeah.
Because I read a lot. I think the most major point is that I think I have a pretty varied vocabulary. So, which I think is a very
Is a plus point.
yes.
Yeah.
If you read a lot, then you don't have to work a lot for the verbal ability. It comes naturally to you, genuinely. And when you're preparing for it, however, the best thing to do is go through comprehension. Like she said,
Yeah.
very important part of it is the comprehension section. Try if you can understand what an author is trying to communicate to you, that would be your greatest advantage in verbal ability.
Okay.
And honestly, though, when you're talking about vocabulary, however, it's very impossible to cover every single word here because it's such a varied. However, when I was preparing in Prep Academy, Sridhar sir, he taught us how we can understand these words. He gave us some base words, which
Root
were
words, right?
sorry,
Root words.
Root words,
Yeah.
yes, root words for us to build upon other words.
Yeah.
So this would really help us. So you'd know, have an idea about how a word, okay, I'm guessing this is about it, even though you don't know specifically what it is. So based on the option, you can choose it. So it's basically an intuition, deductive reasoning, I'd say, for verbal ability. Quant, I did practice a lot. I'd say I'm pretty strong. I got good scores. How I took a lot of time for preparing it. Logical reasoning also I did well. However, it takes a lot more practice than you actually would imagine because everyone can solve most logical reasoning questions, but within that time span is very hard.
Okay.
Especially sequence and series, it's very hard to get the right patterns, analyzing the patterns. However, with practice, it comes naturally.
Okay. What was your strongest section?
I think for law entrances, everything was easy for me except quant.
Okay.
But for PMS, I think similarly for her as well, verbal ability is the easiest you can find in there. And logical was also easy for me. Quant was always been a struggle, but classes really helped me to crack and get a very good score, more than expected. So I think it's all about practice at the end of the day.
Did your background help you, to stand out in interviews? Background in the
Yes.
sense school subjects or extracurriculars?
Yeah.
What did you guys do?
For me, humanities really helped me for all my interviews, and I think in humanities because it's about the society, and
No,
whatever
won't extracurriculars come up during interviews? That's my question.
extracurriculars. The thing is, certificates and colleges not only look for if you're a studious kid, they
Yeah.
want to know if you're good at everything.
Exactly.
So I had a bunch of certificates and I did a lot of extra programs. So they asked me about it and they asked me how I get to manage both, like studies and these.
What
curriculum.
exactly did you do?
I've participated sports. I'm not very athletic, but
Okay.
I did go for state table tennis,
Uh-huh.
and I went for a bunch of inter-school competitions
Okay,
for
okay.
dance and all. So that's what they asked about, like how do I manage it? Even 12th grade, I went for a competition in Kochi, inter-school competition, fashion designing and all, because I'm an artistic kid. So I went for all of them. They asked me, how do you manage both? It's all about knowing balance, spending time for studying and spending time for other things, because even if you go out in the world and work, you're going to have to spend alone time and work on your personal life and your work life.
Yeah.
So that's what they want to know.
What about you?
I had a lot of extracurriculars. I was interested in a lot of things, and I wanted to find
You're
out.
good at public speaking, I guess. You're a very quirky kid.
I would say.
Yeah.
I've been told.
Yeah.
I was captain of the debate team several times,
Oh, okay.
and I did participate in various quizzes.
Makes sense.
And as a commerce student, I had a lot of management competitions. These were basically just gave us students, and we were asked to do assigned tasks, delegation, and stuff like that. And they did give interviews on that also. I think I had secured many positions in that. Also, I am a badminton player. I had to stop. I had a knee surgery and all because of the sport. So I had lots of prizes on that. I played state level badminton, won lots of prizes inter-school level, and I am also an athlete. I shot put, and I did. I had lots of other stuff. I can't recall many. I also swimming also.
Okay.
Yeah, that's about it. When it comes to quantitative aptitude and all, you asked how the background helped us. We did have maths, and accountancy also helped me with the calculations. So for a commerce kid, I think it really helped
Okay.
for tackling it.
So, what kind of interview questions can we generally expect? academic subject questions, general interest, logic, politics?
For me, actually, the BMS interview, it actually didn't go absolutely how we planned.
Okay.
But
How did you plan? Let's start
we
there.
planned, you know how interviews give the vibe of, okay, tell us about yourself. Okay.
yeah.
There is, and find,
The
there's
general
something wrong with
structure,
it.
you
Yes.
just planned, accordingly.
Yeah, we planned
According to general
according to
structure.
that.
Yeah.
And we planned very well. We practiced a lot. We
Okay.
practiced mock interviews
At
a lot.
prep.
Yes, at prep.
Yeah.
They really helped. And however, things all it completely shattered my understanding of how an interview should go the second the interviewer opened the door for me.
Okay.
So all my plans went haywire.
Uh-huh.
So we understood. So that's when I understood that, oh, this is a very chill interview. So that's how we are supposed to be. And we went in there simply, they asked me, oh, did you have lunch? And I was like, no, we didn't. I think none of us did. Because we're all tense about the interview. And I was like, no need to be tense. They were all very nice, actually.
Okay.
Genuinely. Nice people makes you drop your guard. Genuinely. But I think one very important question they asked though is, I had pretty good marks for my 12th grade maths. They asked me, okay, you're strong at maths. So they asked me to say topics, maths. And being me, I said the most difficult things that come to my mind first. And they asked me questions based on that. So my understanding is that you should have said the easiest things. Even if they keep pushing you, try to find the things that you can easily answer if they ask you a question.
Okay.
I think that's something. Somehow I managed to tackle the question, which I'm proud of myself for.
Okay. So, any unexpected questions you faced during the interview?
Well,
Like, how do you respond when you're asked such unexpected questions?
one thing I do is I go pardon or I sorry.
Okay,
Gives
okay.
me thinking time.
Yeah,
I think
just-
that's a strategy
yeah,
a lot
yeah.
of people use.
Yeah, right.
But one thing that really caught me off guard was he straight up asked, "What are you doing?" And what are you doing seems like a very easy question, but when you're prepared for tell us about yourself, it seems, oh, okay, what are you doing? And that was fine. I just took parts of what my self introduction was supposed to be and pieced
Yeah.
together something. That's fine. Then about civil service, they asked because I was
Okay.
interested in civil service. So they asked me why civil service. If you're interested in civil service, why not go for a more specialized course, like economics? Like yeah. So they asked me why BMS and why why I am Kozhikode.
Yeah.
So what I said was basically instead of just thinking about tackling the civil service examination, I was thinking about how BMS program could help me become a better civil servant in itself because of its management, public service aspects. And I am Kozhikode is I am Kozhikode. So so I said it like that only. I think they laughed because that's genuinely the first reason. And besides that, the BMS programs at other courses didn't really offer many minors. So IIM Kozhikode BMS program offered stackable minors. There's so
Okay.
many options.
Okay.
So that's also one thing I said.
So, what would you say to someone in class 12 right now, totally unsure about, their next step?
You have time. Don't need to worry.
Yeah.
Genuinely. Seriously, if you take a gap year also, like
That's
she
totally
did,
fine, I
That's
guess.
totally fine. It's something, if you have so many more years ahead of you.
Yeah.
1 year is not going to cost you anything.
Yeah.
It's something you can wait for, something you can think about. So,
Many aspirants, debate whether 7 to 9 months is sufficient for prepping or if months of daily prep can compensate.
See, the thing is, time management is all. There can be someone who starts like 5 months early, and there can be someone who just learns in 1 month. It's about how you learn and how you manage your
It
time.
depends on each person.
Yeah, and also depends on how you tackle it, If you have a shorter period of time, you tackle it in that manner, looking at only the core points and all. If you have a longer period of time, you expand the topics. So it depends on which view you take or which approach you go for the subject.
So, what are you most excited about at St. Stephen's?
actually, there's a lot of societies there
Uh-huh.
that I've been looking forward to them since I was in 10th grade. So there's societies I want to join. Then the peer group there is crazy because I have some certain friends, not friends, I would say. My father has connections, And so he has friends who have studied at St. Stephen's and all. And St. Stephen's, they are saying that some of my friends, I call them, they're all governors. And
Oh.
yeah, I know, it's crazy. I was like, oh my God, I didn't think that high. But it's a place where you can make a lot of connections for like very, very far into your future. And another thing is, Delhi is the civil service center.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right.
everyone goes there to prepare. So St. Stephen's has produced so many civil servants and such a very interesting alumni group, Shashi Tharoor and our
Right.
dear Umanjandi sir. So many. And that's very interesting for me, very exciting.
So did either of you have this, this is what I really want moment, or did it come, after trying things out?
So, I actually went for 2 weeks of lectures in Xavier's
Okay.
because I was a little unsure of law. It's a very tough field, you can have. I had a very tough 12th grade, managing my studies, I had a difficult time. So I was thinking, if I go for law with my state, what if I have a difficult time there and like it's a 5 year course, 3 years in, what if I'm like, no, I can't do this. So I got a little scared and I decided, you know what, I'll go for BMS. I had 3 years to prepare for it, and then I'll join after, like, PG law also exists.
Yeah.
So I went for lectures. I think the fourth day we had a lecture, and we had business law in the morning, and then we had management in the later section. So I was sitting one corner and I was drowsy by the management class. I was so interested in the morning for the business law, and I realized in that moment I'm like, oh, this is what I want to do. I do
Okay.
want to do law. So then I'm like, no, that's it. I don't. By this day, I've decided I'm going to do law no matter how difficult it is. This is what I want to do. So that's how I came into this path again.
What about you?
Uh,
You always knew that you wanted to take economics.
Economics, actually in 10th grade, I think we all learned that one chapter, Village of Palampur.
Uh-huh.
Do you
Yeah.
remember? Yeah, that chapter is very boring. Economics, I think a lot of kids' thoughts about economics are based on that one chapter or ninth or 10th grade, which is actually genuinely very boring. Ninth
Yeah.
or 10th. But me personally, since I was interested in civil service, I took a few extra classes, read a few extra books based on economics. I was like, oh, this subject is not as bad as I thought it was. And so I decided to give it a chance in commerce. And that's when I realized economics is a whole another world when it comes to 11th and 12th. Micro, macro,
Yes.
honestly, it is amazing. I love drawing the graphs. It all makes sense. It all makes perfect sense because every single theory or assumption you make, it's a universal thing. Like you can apply that anywhere. And I don't know how to explain it in words because it just feels right. That's what I had for economics.
I think I completely agree with Mariya on this. Yeah.
Okay. So do you both have any go-to resources like books, classes, or YouTube channels, podcasts, or mentors that were really helpful? Apart from prep.
Okay.
I think for me, when it comes to school subjects, mostly went to my teachers because the thing we don't realize is, other than tuitions, our teachers, if you actually go to them, they're very approachable and they would help you in any manner. Like economics is something in 11th grade when I started learning, it was like, it's so difficult, I don't like it. But by 12th, I had like by 12th I had teachers who would help me, and he actually made me understand what economics really is. And then I'm like, this is what we see in real life. This is happening in our houses, in stores. It's like all around. It's so easy. It's so understandable, so interesting. So that's the thing. Our resources are all around and they're right in front of you, and all you need to do is go to them. And for entrance exams, I think I stuck to like newspapers mostly for current affairs and all. And for GK, I don't know, a few websites are there. I'm not sure of names right now, but yeah, a few websites and all.
What about you?
For
You said you
current
read
affairs-
books.
I do.
Yeah.
But actually, though, I read mainly fiction. But fiction also helps. If you read, you read. There's no classification between it because fiction helps you just as much as non-fiction based on your interest. But for preparations, I used, for current affairs and general knowledge, I use this
You said
app.
you read extra books for economics.
Yes, economics.
Yeah.
There is this book by, oh God, I forgot his name. Is about Indian independence, and also I'm sure you're familiar with Dada Bhai Naroji.
yes, yes.
He had a speech for the British when it comes to the British empires about drain of wealth from India.
Okay.
And there's this one speech. It talked about how Indian resources were draining and how our resources being were used for all British purposes,
Yes.
and how our economy was crashing.
Yeah.
That one speech, it was barely 2 or 3 pages, but really hit me deep.
Okay.
It's very interesting because it makes sense to the normal man. Whatever he's saying, whatever economics, whatever he's saying, is it makes sense.
Yeah.
That is one thing. I think a lot of those speeches or books from famous economists, and there are certain YouTube channels that and certain websites for civil service preparations like Vajram and Ravi. They have a site. It has a lot of very important information, economics, and any other subject really. And there's this one app for newspapers. It's called InShots. I'm sure a lot of people are familiar
Yeah.
with it. And I am a very lazy newspaper reader. I'm sure a lot of people suffer from that. So I do read newspapers when I absolutely have to, but this app, InShots, it gives you small bits about very important news. And they give you like an infographic about, for example, Operation Sindoor and all. They
Yeah.
gave me a outright infographic about it, which made it interesting. So we had a connection to it. Like we were not completely cut off from the world and its happenings, which is also something help.
Okay.
Yeah, and my teachers, obviously. But like she already said about that, teachers are honestly, one thing I noticed that if you keep a doubt on for too long, it will absolutely be the death of you when
Okay.
it comes to a subject. Clear it all as and when it comes. Because one doubt that you may have initially might be something that has caused all the other doubts. So if you solve that one thing, the automatically dominoes of doubt solving, it will just happen. So don't incubate any doubts you have. Just finish it off. Ask people. Yeah.
With this, we come to the end of this episode.
Thank you.
Do you have a word or two to tell our viewers? Just anything, just anything.
We said what the main things were, right? So one thing that really happened is when you start something, finish it off. Really,
Okay.
don't procrastinate because
Yeah.
it's your life.
Yeah, yeah.
And if you procrastinate, it's not very good. Like people say. And also another thing, when you're preparing for it, I said we had the crash batch for 1 month, but then later the exams were a little bit late. Were 1 month later for me.
Okay, so you had extra time to prepare? Is
You
that
could
what
say that.
Yeah.
You would say that.
But you were lazy.
Exactly. A
Okay.
lot of people are lazy. I was lazy, but then after 1 week, 1 or 2 weeks of sitting simply, I realized, oh my God, this is the next 5 years I'm playing with. So I started back to preparations, which is one thing no one should do. Because if you
Yeah.
have gaps, don't think of it
You
as
should
a break.
always be consistent.
Yes, be consistent.
Okay. Regardless of the delays.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything else?
I would like to say, like, for people who are in 12th and all,
Yeah.
it's okay to be confused. It's okay to be making mistakes and all. By the end of the day, you have time, you can prepare.
Yeah, it's never too late.
Yeah,
it's
it's never too late.
Yeah.
So, don't be scared. Just get out there, explore the world. Answers will find you. So
Yeah.
that's all I have to
Nice one.
How did prep help you in your journey?
I think I can say for the both of us, quant was something we both struggled with.
Were you guys in the same batch?
She studied for a year before me,
Yeah.
right? She came. She had the weekend classes.
Yeah, I was there for the online batch.
Yeah,
So,
I was the crash batch.
Okay.
so I think both of us were in the same batch. We had the same course of classes, but we were in different classrooms. I
Yes.
think something like that.
Yeah.
But we had the same teachers, and I can vouch for quant that Praveen sir really helped us.
So thorough.
Yeah, I hated maths, and he taught maths from the basic. So my brain, which finds maths so hard to like understand, was able to like grasp the concept from the beginning
Okay.
to a point where I could actually solve questions. Like right now, I can solve questions. Before, I would stare at a question and I would be like, what is happening here? How do I do this? And we had daily tests every day.
Yeah, we got-
For the first daily test, I think I was the second lowest score
Yeah,
in
second
the
last
class.
score, yeah.
And
Second from last.
Yeah,
Yeah.
second from last. I had such a bad score. And by the second week, I could be in the top 15. I was like proud to see my name up there. I was like, that's so nice.
It gives you a sense of achievement.
Yeah.
They stick up the
Yeah, they
names
stick up
and all.
names on top. So when I saw my name go from like the worst to like one of
Top
the top
15.
yeah, top 15, I was actually proud of myself, and that gave me more confidence to like study more
Yeah.
and get the concept. And I don't hate maths anymore. It's still a very difficult
Subject,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
still, yeah. What about you?
Praveen sir,
Yeah.
one thing is quantitative aptitude. He does this thing where he explains one in one way, and they're like, okay, I got it. I finished understanding that, and then he goes, but we won't use that way. We use the next way, and he teaches us in 5 different ways for
Okay.
a single question, which really helps, because if you understand these 5 questions, you are absolutely unbeatable.
5 different ways.
Yeah, a
Yeah, to solve
lot
a
of
question.
ways.
Yeah, okay.
So you're absolutely unbeatable in any question if you learn all of these, which I found very helpful. And after one point, I knew this was coming. Okay, what's the next way?
Okay.
I'm just sitting there. And for me, I'm a very competitive person. For the daily tests and all, I didn't like to see the name drop. I think a lot of people have that.
Yeah.
After one point, oh no, I have to get back on track. I
Yeah.
think that really helped. Their scoring system and the ranking system, it helped the kids become more
Competitive
yeah, but it was a
and,
very
yeah.
healthy competition too.
Yeah.
Everyone helped each other. A lot of my friends, I think, hopefully will last their life, because they all really helped me with anything. Srijit sir helped us with verbal ability and general current affairs and all. He prepared an entire PDF. That was like 200, almost 200 pages
Okay.
for us. All the past year's current affairs, general knowledge. See, I couldn't go through. I
All of
couldn't even
it?
go through half of it.
Okay.
Yeah. That's a lot of effort.
Yeah.
And he helped us. He clarifies any doubt. No doubt is too stupid. No doubt is too stupid when it comes to them.
Yeah.
They will clarify every single thing, like you ask the smartest question they've ever heard, which helps you in some way, because it's very approachable. They're all very approachable. You can call them anytime. You can text them. And I had so many other teachers. Varghese sir for maths, and we had Sana ma'am for logical reasoning.
Okay.
They all helped so much, and I will obviously be forever grateful, because they are the very reason I got through whatever I got through. I was planning on preparing on it myself, and now I realize how stupid that would have been, because they helped so much. That's all.
And that's a wrap. Thank you, Rosemary and Mariya, for sharing your insights and your journey. If you're dreaming of getting into some top colleges, I hope this episode helps you out. So see you until next time. Bye.